Leaving your home can be really scary. Like, in general. I went to a cafe the other day and my card got declined like 3 times. I held up the line, people were watching me press the no tip button again and again. It was a mess. But as much as I wanted to end myself in front of everyone and ruin their lives forever, even that couldn't compare to the feeling of leaving my childhood home. I left to study abroad when I was 16, and yes, with my parents' consent, I wasn't some runaway child, they're the ones who put me through it. It's a weird feeling, living alone. All of a sudden, you're going from having your mom's cooking every day to eating KFC for lunch and dinner because the 2-person combo was cheaper. It's liberating, and lonely at the same time. So watching this 18-minute short film by Giguk, you know Giguk, essentially about leaving to discover yourself, you could say it hit way too close to home. And I want to talk about it. But before that, can we acknowledge the fact that a YouTuber made an anime? What? The closest things I've made are my stick figure animations, and those are already near perfect. Imagine having to hire an entire studio, gather voice actors and musicians, all sorts of talent, and to do it with your own money. Giga, bro, take a bow, man. That's incredible. So for any of you that are curious what an anime YouTuber thinks about an anime YouTuber's anime, this is Bâan, the boundary of adulthood. The anime begins as we follow Daichi, leaving his home for the last time after booking a one-way express ticket to Euthania, an ethereal realm rich in folklore with herbs and spices practically scattered across the land, inhabited by none other than Thai fairies. That's also what I call the beautiful ladyboys over there.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Cute.
But I'm
Everyone.
not lady.
You're not a lady?
Yes,
What are you?
I'm lady boy.
Here we meet our other main character, Rin, as she says goodbye to her father before setting out for the human world, both diving headfirst into a land completely unknown to them. There are a couple parallels you can draw between these two characters. The first is shown by how they moved out. Rin left with the blessing of her dad, while Daichi, for lack of a better word, basically forced his way out. It reminds me of how countries like the US would automatically shove their offspring out the door the second they turn 18, while most Asian countries would wait till their baby turns 50 and then consider moving them out. No matter which situation you grew up in, I think what Giguk, and by extension what I'm trying to say, is that it's important to take that step, to leave the nest and explore what life could be like outside, whether you're met with support or resistance. I want to start by saying I'm extremely spoiled. When I was 16, my parents gave me the opportunity to study in a foreign country while funding my living costs. It's basically the best of both worlds. I could do whatever I want living by myself without having to worry about rent or my next meal. I'd like to think it's because they trusted me to not be a bum and fuck around all day. But now I do that for a living. I'd be lying if I said it was all smooth sailing though. As shown from the perspective of Daichi and Rin, living in a foreign place can be exciting. You get to discover new things, find stuff you're passionate about, and share that with a like-minded community, eventually assimilating into the culture you find yourself in. And yet, the inverse can also happen. Things probably won't click right away. You'll probably struggle a lot, especially in Rin's case. After her initial triumph of finding a job, oh, sorry, that was really offensive. I shouldn't be saying slurs. Her brief moment of joy is met with a series of pushbacks. She gets yelled at on her first day, accidentally breaks her coworkers' headsets, and struggles to talk to her peers. This particular scene hit me the hardest, because prior to moving out, the thought of feeling left out never even crossed my mind. Back home, I could talk to anyone, no problem. Everyone spoke my language. Yet, seemingly in the blink of an eye, people are giving me strange looks when I open my mouth. The awkward smile on their face as they frantically try to explain things in English is a sight I know all too well. It's not their fault. I chose to be here. They're catering to me and I'm being a burden to them. But knowing that doesn't make me feel any less of a minority. And that's why people go back to their home country. Slowly throughout the film, you could see the color of her wings change from a light pink to a light purple after her first fuck up. It bounces back when she finds new friends and a passion for work in customer support, dealing with idiots for some reason, to each their own. But sooner or later, life catches up and those wings turn purple once more. It's only clear when it becomes an icy blue that things aren't going well. Not because she's weak, not because she can't cut it, simply because she misses home. I don't think she went back for good. She probably just used her ALs or something, since her desk still has her stuff. And I like that. It shows that while you can follow the path of Dai, choosing to leave your home and find your place in a new environment, there's also no harm in going back. Temporarily, permanently, it's up to you. There is no right answer, because the point is that you took that leap and learned more about yourself. Obviously, this falls under a gigantic asterisk. I understand that not everyone can just pack up and go home. Sometimes life abroad is the only way they can feed their family, because the systems in their country isn't enough to support themselves. Shitty or not, they have to stay. So again, I'm speaking from a very privileged position. Thanks to my job of being unemployed, I get to go home to my country whenever I want. And those times are special. Every time it feels like I'm stepping into a time capsule. All my old stuff is still there, but it isn't quite right because time has passed, so there's new stuff on top of old stuff, but it still looks familiar. It's weird, but special. I'm amazed by how much detail and meaning you can pack inside 18 minutes. This anime draws heavy inspiration from Southeast Asia and Asia in general. From what I know about Giguk, and I only know a little bit, I'm not a stalker, I promise, is that he's of Thai descent. Both his parents are Thai, but was born and raised in the UK in Brighton in Sussex on May 31st, 1990, had a period in his life where he became a monk, once in his teens for 2 weeks and another for a month when he was in his 20s, and then moved to Japan in late 2019, where he currently lives in Tokyo. Oh, and he worked for Big Black Co. Knowing that, we can see how Giguk's upbringing influences the world of Bâan, food being the most obvious. From the mouth-watering close-ups of curry to the intentional choices made in the fried rice. I know that sounds, fucking goofy, but take a closer look at the length of the rice grains. It's longer and thinner than the typical rice we see in other anime. And that's because in Japan, they use shorter, rounder grains, while in Thailand and other Southeast Asian countries, they use jasmine rice, which looks more like this. The offering of food is also a prominent practice in Buddhist culture, so we see them offering this fried rice dish in the anime. But probably the most Asian thing I've ever seen is the non-direct way of showing affection. The first instance is at the very beginning where Daichi opens his text with his mom. Their previous conversation reading, "Will you be coming home late? There's food in the fridge, so heat it up and eat it." This clearly passes down to Dai when at the end, he also expresses to Rin that he misses her by saying he made her favorite curry. Never outwardly expressing his affection, but showing it in different ways, like telling her not to work too hard and that it's okay to come home every now and then. Asian people, particularly the older generation, have a harder time of expressing affection openly. Lots of social and philosophical reasons I won't pretend to know because I'm stupid. Culturally, it's just been like that. Instead, affection is shown by proxy, mainly through food. So yes, boys, if Asian fine shit brings you home to her parents and they cut you some fruit, you have a 50-50 chance that they like you. The other 50% is just them being polite. They secretly want you to get the fuck out. I kinda knew that this anime would be high quality, not just from the trailer, but in principle. I think an anime YouTuber has the most to lose if their own anime isn't up to snuff. Gordon Ramsay doesn't get to verbally abuse chefs for money if his food sucked ass. So I shouldn't be surprised if the anime was well made. And yet, I was, especially by the soundtrack. Kevin Penkin is greatly adored by anime fans for his work in Made in Abyss. He has this insane ability to create an atmosphere with his music alone. Just listening to the soundtrack, you can visualize in your head, this is a theme for a grand adventure, this is for a fight scene, this is for an emotional reunion. I bet it's incredibly hard to tell a story through music, and it's a testament to how skilled of a musician he is, when he makes it painfully easy for plebs like me to understand the idea he's trying to convey. The animation was beautiful. For a studio without a massive resume, Studio Daisy sure looked capable of animating on the same level as the big dogs. Doing it on a week-to-week release schedule for typical anime would be a massive challenge though. As for the VA, I watched this anime dubbed and the voice acting sounded exactly like the standard of anime we get today, which is crazy since the voice actress for Rin is Sid Snap, another anime YouTuber and Giguk's wife. She did an amazing job. I think the reason why I like this anime was because it resonated with me a lot in terms of its message. I personally related to the struggles that the characters faced, but it does leave a lot of stuff unanswered, mostly about Euthania and its world. It felt like it took a back seat and there are plenty of things left unsaid. But that doesn't mean they aren't there. During the festival ceremony, the anime plays a specific soundtrack. One quick YouTube search shows that it's aptly titled Faya Naga. I am not Thai, I definitely did not pronounce that correctly. Naga are serpent-like creatures significant to Thai culture. They represent water, protection, and fertility. What's Euthania surrounded by? Exactly. Water. We can also assume that it's protecting the village since they seem to get along and the people are leaving offerings. And lastly, near the end of its life, we saw that it gave birth to a new serpent, the one that Rin and Daichi raised, symbolizing fertility. But what does Faya mean? Well, based on this one article, the Faya Naga is the king of serpents. One of its most famous stories involved the Naga fireball phenomenon, where mysterious fireballs seem to rise from the Mekong River and float into the sky. Scientists claim it's due to natural causes, but that shit's boring. Locals say the fireballs are Naga's offerings to the Buddha, and I think those are the lights we see during the festival that Daichi attends. It's unfortunate because it's probably left implied to compensate for its short runtime. That's the trade-off. Sometimes you have to cut stuff out to make room for others, and expanding the world wouldn't have been necessary to get the original message across. I do think Daichi's story could have been fleshed out more. It would have been interesting to see if he struggled in his first days in Euthania, because in the end, it felt more like a story about Rin than a story about both journeys as shown at the start. Other than that, I don't have many complaints. Bâan is an anime made with passion and a genuine love for the medium. I don't think it'd be free if it wasn't. Garnt wanted to tell a story about leaving home using his life story as the foundation. It spoke to me deeply, as I'm sure it did to hundreds and thousands of others. To some, it's a story. To us, it's our life.